Viva the ANC, viva! Viva the ANC Women's League, viva! Viva the ANC Youth League, viva! Viva the ANC Veterans League, viva! Viva the original Mkhonto wesizwe, viva! Viva the original Mkhonto wesizwe, viva! Viva President Cyril Ramaphosa, viva! Wathinta abafazi, wathinta imbokodo. Greetings to the President of the ANC, President Cyril Ramaphosa, to the leadership of the NEC of the ANC, the leadership of the Women's League led by its president, the leadership of the Veterans League led by its president, branches of the ANC of Mpumalanga led by its provincial chair. Today we are here to celebrate an organization that has got ancestors. We are in this full hall of leadership because today is a cake cutting of leadership. This full hall is full of the leadership of structures. Then on the 13th, all members of communities, organizations, sectors will be in numbers in the stadium. This stadium is too small for the African National Congress. Because the African National Congress can fill all stadiums in all 9 provinces and still need more space. Now only Mpumalanga alone, Comrade Mandla, can fill this stadium. We don't need the help of Comrade Banyaza. He has an FNB to fill. But today is a day we are not here to mourn but to celebrate. But not only to celebrate the achievements of the African National Congress in the 30 years of democracy. Rakwa batho ba bolela ba tshilatsila ba dira mokete wa dikatse nyana ba dipitsa mekhonto wa bangwe ara tsebe after 5 years ba go dipitsa MKVA a shija ba bua ka mogara mogahlo mara re the ANC is known by the people of South Africa through its track records of delivering services where there were no services. It's only the ANC that put water where there was no water. It's only the ANC that built schools where there were no schools. It's only the ANC that built roads where there were no roads. Built hospitals where there were no hospitals. Built the University of Mpumalanga where there was no university. Those are the achievements of the ANC that we must speak about. We must never shy away to speak about what the ANC has done for the people of South Africa. And the ANC is the first organization to acknowledge also its weaknesses. We do not wait for anyone elsewhere to say that there are problems in the ANC. That's why the ANC have agreed to adopt a renewal program to renew and fix all the ills in the ANC, because the ANC identified that the ANC has been infiltrated by criminals at all levels who no longer deliver what we promised to our people, who think the ANC is their platform of doing their corrupt ways. Is the ANC who introduced the step-aside policy as part of the renewal program. A lot of these small parties that have been formed are formed out of a program of renewal of the ANC, because the renewal project can no longer be with criminals in it. The ocean called the ANC is cleaning them out into small parties. Some of them have been defending them for years. Instead, some of those people who are jumping around, they've caused more damage to the brand of the ANC than any other president of the African National Congress. Maybe we must remind them. We must remind them that the ANC spent close to 20 years defending them as individuals. And we must take responsibility as the ANC that out of that defense, we must learn something from it, because sometimes you might think that you are defending and you are building a cult. Because people will think that we are defending them because we are defending the position that they occupied. When we defend President Ramaphosa, we're not defending him as an individual. We're defending the office of the president. The day he leaves the office and does his own things, we don't care. We'll defend the new president. That's how the ANC works. But President, as we celebrate these achievements of the African National Congress, we must acknowledge that there is a disaster happening in the country. The biggest disaster of youth unemployment. It is no longer an issue of debate, President. It's an urgent matter. Because when the youth of the country are unemployed in majority, they're on the streets of South Africa. They end up doing crime. They end up being on drugs. They are causing more problems. Everything we try to resolve, if you can't resolve the issue of youth unemployment, we are moving backwards, not forward. Now it's an urgent matter that, President, we need to attend to. We need to be selfish, President. We need to utilize our raw materials that we have beneath our soil, given by God, to resolve our socio-economic challenges of this country. It can be, President, that a country, a continent like Europe, that has got no raw materials, but their secondary and tertiary industries are thriving, creating employment for the youth using our own raw materials. We're saying, President, as we celebrate 112 years of the ANC, we're saying we must put export quotas. Not more than 70% of raw materials must leave this country. These raw materials must remain in this country to create opportunities for the youth of the country. These raw materials must remain in this country to be utilized to a program of the reindustrialization program that the ANC has agreed upon. We do have the solutions, which are raw materials we have. We have the soil to resolve the problems here in agriculture. We're saying, President, those are the solutions that we have. Let's be decisive. If it means that they must put sanctions on us, they must do that. Let's use our resources to resolve our own problems. And we've resolved that. We have shown bravery, President, when you attended the issue of Israel. And we're very proud of you, President. You are the most fearless president. The bravery you showed to resolve the issue of Israel is the same bravery we must show to resolve the high level of inequalities in this country. It can be, President, that 112 years later, 30 years into democracy, the demographics of the country, the economy of the country does not reflect the demographics of the country. The face of poverty is still black in South Africa, while the minority still control the bigger parts of the economy. Now, the strong message you must send, President, in 112 is that enough is enough. We've been patient with them. Those who want to be with us must be here to build with us. Anyway, President, those that are drivers of the economy of this country, they are funding regime change. Yeah. Now, there's nothing that we are begging because they are funding for the removal of the ANC out of power. It is clear that the banks, everyone wants to take the ANC out of power. Now, what are we begging, President? We must be decisive. The most important thing that, President, you must move on, as I conclude, National Chair, is that it can be that the financial sector is managed by few monopolies of few banks in this country. We're saying that, President, the Post Bank must be elevated to a bank of choice. The African Bank must be elevated to a bank of choice. And that must be the banks that all the state entities and government must bank with them. Salaries, everything must move to those banks. We want to see these banks that fund the DA, how will they survive? Because they can use our money of the black majority to remove us out of power. Now we're saying, President, let's cut the cake. Let's celebrate. Don't be scared to speak about our achievements and to speak about our challenges. We're saying victory is certain. The ANC will win. The ANC will come out victorious. We'll win all the wars, all the metros. We'll win all the provinces. There is no collusion discussions we're going to, because we're going to have enough majority to govern on our own and deliver the manifesto of the ANC. Amandla!